Let's go ahead and begin our practice today. I don't have a chime with me, so we're just going to have to imagine a chime, a little bell to call us into mindfulness, into this present moment. And I'm going to close my eyes for just a moment to settle in. And I'd like to welcome you all to the Spokane Sangha, to this recovery Dharma practice, this Buddhist-inspired approach to understanding and shifting our relationship to any habit energy that might be governing our lives to such a degree that it is inhibiting us from being happy and causing suffering. And one of the things about a Buddhist practice is the invitation to explore and examine the conditions of our suffering and our discomfort and malcontent, our trauma and hurt, our confusion, to such a degree that we slowly begin to heal it. The power of understanding, wise understanding, has the power to heal. It's truly an extraordinary thing. And in this practice of understanding, we engage various instruments of peace, things like gentleness and patience, curiosity and wonder, reverence, presence, stillness. For the month of November in the Spokane Sangha, we have been exploring a concept, dana, which means generosity. And we've been exploring the idea, the notion of generosity, not only in the typical fashion of how we give. That's often the only way we think about being generous, when in fact, being generous is also enacted by how we receive, because receiving is actually an act of giving. It gives another person an opportunity to be generous. But we have all kinds of inhibitions. We have all kinds of roadblocks to giving. To receiving. We feel vulnerable, we feel exposed when we're receiving. And so we engage in heart armoring tendencies, even habits like self-protection, deflection, dismissal, rejection. And yesterday I brought forward an idea of how do we receive someone's care? Someone's concern. When a loved one has approached us with a confrontation to say something like, "Hey Julia, I'm worried about you." And my habit energy in the past has been like, "You don't need to worry about me, I'm fine." Okay. And we're so like that. We just want to be left alone. We just want to sort of stay in a misery, and we don't take the time. We don't allow the time. We don't practice giving ourselves and giving another person a moment to let that sink in. Wow, you care about me. You're caring for me right now. You're seeing something that I may not be seeing. You might be seeing the back of me. You might be actually holding me up. You have my back. a place where I don't have eyes to see. And maybe if I could practice receiving this care, I could cultivate a deeper sense of trust. And so we discussed that yesterday. We explored that. And we do so in an environment where we're not actively having to work on that. We're just sort of conjuring it up as an example. And this is what we do when we practice. We bring forward examples of our lived experiences, and we slowly begin to pull them apart thread by thread, gaining an understanding of all its parts to develop a broad, beautiful picture of what's been happening in our lives. All of this was framed around a notion of examining the third and fourth foundation of mindfulness, our thoughts, our mental formations and perceptions, and to not believe everything we think, to practice inserting a pause in between the arising of a thought or a story, inserting a pause, and then seeing how we want to respond or react. And that pause can make all the difference in the world, from thought arising to reactivity, thought arising to shutting down, thought arising to projecting, thought arising to erupting in anger, self-protection. Instead, thought arising, pause. Would you look at this thought? I wonder if it's true. I wonder what else is true. I wonder if I can get out of the small, narrow confine of my mind to see a bigger, more beautiful picture. So today, for our practice, our meditation, I'd like you to receive the wisdom of my all-time favorite cosmologist and astrophysicist, Brian Cox. He has a really relatable and easily accessible handle on the cosmos, on the universe, of which you and I are a part. We are a part of this vast, infinite unfurling since beginningless time, as the Buddhists say. And so I can get pretty wrapped up in my little life, the pettiness of it, the way I inflate and distort it. And I can forget that I am part of an infinite unfurling. And I am here for a mere, if I'm lucky, 80 years or so. And so I am presented with a question, a noble reminder. How do I want to live this precious human life? Do I want to continue in the cyclical nature of negative habit energy, or do I want to use my instruments of peace and really heal and shift my relationship to my habits? And in what ways am I going to do both? In what ways am I going to engage in familiar habit energy and slowly recover my whole being. And all I want to encourage you to do is breathe. Bring your full attention to the manner in which your body is breathing. Notice the belly soft, expanding and contracting as you inhale and exhale. Keep close in your mind that someone somewhere is struggling to breathe. And so maybe if you're experiencing ease in inhaling and exhaling, maybe you can extend that ease out in a very general way toward anybody who might be struggling to breathe. May they find this moment a little bit easier. Brian Cox writes, "We are not simply a speck in the universe. We are a universe within the universe. The 7 quadrillion atoms that compose your body, forged in the hearts of ancient stars billions of years ago, carry the energy of the Big Bang itself. At the core of our existence lies oxygen, the element with the atomic number 8 on the periodic table, which serves as the lifeblood of life itself." The story of oxygen's journey into our atmosphere is nothing short of extraordinary. For much of the Earth's early history, our atmosphere was a barren expanse, devoid of free oxygen and rich in gases like methane and ammonia. This changed dramatically around 2.4 billion years ago during the Great Oxidation Event, a pivotal moment when cyanobacteria, tiny photosynthetic organisms, began to harness sunlight to convert carbon dioxide and water into glucose and, crucially, oxygen. Through this miraculous process known as photosynthesis, these ancient pioneers began releasing oxygen as a byproduct, gradually transforming our atmosphere into a life-sustaining environment. It took millions of years for oxygen levels to rise significantly, but this vital transformation set the stage for the breathtaking emergence of multicellular life around 60 million years ago. Carl Sagan beautifully articulated the connection between breath and spirit, noting that the Latin word for spirit derives from a term meaning to breathe. This reflects an age-old belief that when we cease to breathe, it is our very soul that departs from our bodies. Indeed, without oxygen, we can only survive for a fleeting 2 to 3 minutes before the intricate processes sustaining our lives come to a halt. Oxygen fuels cellular respiration, a remarkable biochemical symphony that transforms the nutrients we consume into energy, empowering every heartbeat, thought, and movement. This essential element acted as the jet fuel for evolution, enabling the rise of complex organisms that inhabit our planet today, plants, animals, and humans alike. In this intricate dance of life, you are not merely a passive observer. You are the universe experiencing itself, consuming the cosmos and transforming its energy into consciousness. Each breath you take, each heartbeat you feel, weaves you into the magnificent tapestry of existence, reminding us that we are part of an expansive, dynamic universe where the very elements of creation converge to foster life in all its remarkable forms. Friends, we are each of us so much more than what we think, so much more than the stories we tell, so much more than what we are able to receive and what we reject, so much more than what we even give. And in this moreness, we come back to dana, to generosity, to the cyclical nature of giving and receiving, to learning to relax the whole process for no other reason than to connect, to love, to be. And it is a practice that can begin at the most basic threshold, which is the breath. Breathing in, I belong here. Breathing out, because I am here. Breathing in, I am the universe. Breathing out, as consciousness observing itself. Breathing in, I am more than what I think and believe. Breathing out, I have only ever been loved. Thank you, friends. So, with that, I'd like to end our practice today with a dedication of merit, and I'd like to do so with a very simple enactment in the Buddhist tradition. So often you see us after people share is putting the hands in a prayer posture. You can either separate your fingers like this or bring your fingers together. Usually the tips of the thumb are at the level of the heart. I often put my fingertips right at my mouth, and my intention of this is to align my heart and make sure that everything that comes out of my mouth is kind. And so this is sort of my posture of it. And it is a very ancient practice of recognizing that, the universe really is me, and I'm the universe. And when I bow to you, I see the universe in you, as you. We are one universe, and it is so rare to be here. And this is a precious, precious life. So in the spirit of Brian Cox, and if you're not familiar with him, please Google his work on YouTube. He's extraordinary. And one of my favorite lines that he says is, "It is so rare to be here." And so I just want to take a moment to say, I see you all. I offer love to you all. I'm so inspired by the way the universe, which to me is divine, is appearing as each of you. I feel the magnanimous qualities of your care and compassion, your joy and affection. It inspires me deeply. And my heart beats with your heart, and my breath is your breath. Namaste.